Welcome to the second edition of the DTV podcast. I'm your co-host Dale,
I'm your co-host Aaron.
and this is our second guest, Mr. Chris Jenkins.
How's it going?
Pretty good there, Chris. So, Chris, I'm going to start it off the same way that I start off with Brandon. Tell people about yourself if they don't know who you are.
So I'm Chris from Sluagh. We've been around for 3 or 4 years, roughly now, I think. 27 from Martinsburg. Most of the rest of the band lives up in the Winchester area. Kind of on a little break right now, just some family stuff going on, but we are working on our second album right now. So drums and guitars are done, working on bass and then vocals, and then hopefully in the next couple months it'll be out. So back on the scene.
I know you said personal stuff. Most people that do know who you are. How is your grandmother doing?
She's doing decent. She's able to put a little bit of weight on her leg right now, but she fractured her hip. Didn't initially think that was what was going on. They thought it was kind of a meniscus kind of thing, but finally got surgery in September, and she's, where it's October, 26th right now, something like that?
26th.
So I lose track of time sometimes, but...
This will air on Halloween.
Ooh, spooky. But yeah, she's doing decent. Sees a doctor again next month for an evaluation. Hopefully she's doing better by then, but we'll see. So
Sweet. So with Sluagh, gotta ask you a question. Can you give me a rig rundown of your guitar setup?
Oh yeah. So I run. I've got a couple different guitars. First, I'll talk guitars. I've got let's see, the Charvel. That's the Joe Duplantier signature. I love rocking that. I got a Jackson Soloist recently. I've got the Jackson Rhodes. It's a Christian Andrew from Gojira Sig. So I got 2 Sig models. And an esoteric DR1. That's our endorsement deal. So I play that from time to time too. As far as gear, the EVH 5153 from 100 watt. I've got the 50 watt too for smaller setup. And then really pedal board. I got a couple pedals on my rig, but I only use the delay, really, the carbon copy MXR. So
most of your stuff is just coming straight through the amp.
Yeah.
It's all Chris.
That's good then.
Yeah. So Seth's rig a little different. He's got the 6505, but
Which is amazing.
yeah, the Plus. Yeah, he's got that, and he's got I think a TS9 808 or something, the Tube Screamer. So I have an overdrive too, but I have a high gain amp. I really don't have to use it too much.
Yeah.
And I do a lot more rhythm, I guess. So, but, yeah.
That's like with my amp. Like it's a little combo amp, but 300 watts of power. You don't have to do too much.
Mm-hmm.
I plug my pedal in, put it on a clean channel, and I mean my pedal is what creates that distortion. It sounds actually like the amp's distortion, which is ironic.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I got a question about Sluagh. So because you and Seth sometimes split vocals a lot, who actually writes your guys' lyrics? Do you do it all as a whole, or just...
No, I mean, generally, he'll write on his and I'll write on mine, and we'll have a conceptual idea that we kind of push out, like, hey, here's what the song's about to one another, but, most of the time I'm like, yeah, I like those, go ahead, and he'll do the same for me, so.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron's just wondering that so he can push more of his vocals onto me.
Yeah. No.
Well, we take primary responsibility in our writing period for our band. I mean, Madison obviously has her input with bass and things like that. Hunter, since he's new to it, we were writing a lot of these songs kind of as he was coming into the band. So he's kind of like given us a lot more creativity, or creative freedom in terms of this album. Whereas as time goes on, when he feels like he's been around for a whole album cycle, I'm sure he'll be like, well, hey, this is what I think of this part or something. But for the most part, Seth and I have been leading the way. Well, the oldest ones in the band. That's kind of what we have to do.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's how it should be. The older musician kind of takes control. It doesn't have to be every time, but more experience.
We definitely lead the ship. I feel like I pulled him into the scene, into the guitar world, kind of in a way where I was like, hey, let's start a band. And he really hadn't played much before, and I really hadn't either. I noodled, but he really started playing guitar not too long before, and I mean like actively trying to play, like not just like noodling and then putting it down, noodling again, just before I came along. So we met at a Gojira Mastodon show in DC. So it's really funny. I love the story because I feel like it's just a chance meeting and how we came
It's like
to be
how
together.
me and Dale's meeting was almost.
How did you guys meet?
At a show.
At a show.
But like a local one or something?
It was a local. It was the who was it?
Brian.
Yeah.
The Brian Bayless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like benefit thing that he went after he passed away. The remembrance. No, we met there, and Aaron was wearing a hat that had Seether on it, like on the back. And I was like, "Oh, Seether! Yeah, I love that band. It's my favorite band." And when he turned around, then he had the Monster logo on the front, I think, or something
Yeah, it
like
was
that.
a custom made hat.
And I was like, "And Monster? We got to be best friends." No. And it was funny because we met at Blue Fox, and I only had talked to him that one time, and it was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Then we met at Shiley's
Yeah,
on the
I went
Chevelle
alone
show.
to Shiley's. No, it wasn't Chevelle. It was Theory of a Dead Man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, because...
I went alone, didn't know anyone, saw him, I was like, alright, cool, I'm going to hang out with you.
Yeah, and he followed me around all over the place. It was kind of weird.
I had nowhere else to go.
And me and my friend, Christina at the time, had went. And then we I don't know if I told you. We walked away from Aaron.
I think so.
And she goes, "Why is he following us?" I was like, "I don't know. Seems all right to me."
He does that,
and then
I do that.
he told me that he might not have a ride home or whatever. You did have a ride home, I think.
Yeah, eventually, like, my dad set up a ride home for me,
But
but the guy got drunk.
I literally was living like right around the corner at apartments right over here, and then Aaron's living right here, and we didn't know we lived that close to each other.
Yeah.
Like literally a 2-minute, 3-minute drive.
Yeah, Seth and I we didn't live that close, but but like it was weird because at the time I was doing Roadrunner Road Crew. So basically, what happens is you join that, you tell them what shows you'd like to go to or are going to, and they send things to you, stickers, CDs, like samplers and stuff.
I feel like I got some of that from you one time.
Yeah, probably did. But they would send that to me, and they would send me to a show or whatnot. And I went to that show, and I think I had like Blackstone Cherry or like King 810 or something like that stuff, and I was handing it out. So they're like, yeah, just go through the line. When you hand it to people, take a picture, and then put it up on the page. So I'm walking through the line, and I get to Seth and Heather, and I'm sitting there like, dude, he looks so much like Joe from Gojira. At the time, he did. I mean, he still kind of does, but Joe's looks have changed a little bit. But I'm like, man, you look like him. But I started talking to Heather a whole bunch because she was super friendly, and Seth was kind of shy and to himself. And so the show goes on. Gojira plays. I'm down front. Like, where else would I be? And then Mastodon goes on, and I'd seen Mastodon, I guess, a couple times at that point, and I love them, but I didn't feel like being up front anymore. And my friend got lost somewhere in the pit, and he was like wearing his GoPro before it was not like okay to wear, like take a GoPro to a show. So he like did like a pit video, and he's like getting bashed around and everything. So it's really funny. But anyways, I go up top because I saw Seth and Heather in the corner, and I'm like, hey, you said you were from West Virginia. We should be friends. You said you're from nearby. And so we became friends, and we had like 15 mutual contacts because he knew skaters and stuff, and I'm friends with some of the skaters from school and everything, and then that's kind of how we came to be. And then we went on a hike together because we knew he lived like 40 minutes apart, and we just became better friends and played guitar a little bit together, and then here we are. So we're like brothers now.
That's sweet. See, I love stories that are like that because that helps build like a really good bond. When you meet somebody like that, and then you just connect.
But the fact that we weren't even in the same town, like we were from the same area, kind of, but we met in D.C., and he only went on a whim, because I don't know if he was totally into them at the time. He went because someone's like, you kind of remind me of that guy, and
yeah,
and stuff, so. But yeah, it's crazy how we kind of came to be, and then, from there, I think Madison at the time was 14 or 15 years old, and then the band kind of just... We had our buddy Mark was playing. He was going to play bass, and then we found out he played drums, and we needed a drummer really more than I think a bass player at the time. And Madison's like, "Well, can I play bass?" And we're like, "Yeah, you can give it a shot." And then she's been around ever since because she's great.
Yeah,
So.
like,
Amazing.
she's a freaking like one of the most talented bass players I think in this area.
I feel like we hold her back a good bit because you guys have seen her do her like acoustic and solo stuff.
Well, see, that's what really gets me. Like, she goes from playing bass like blah 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 like insane, and then she goes playing guitar and it's just as good or if not better, and she got the whole finger picking down. Like, I can't do finger picking to save my life. Like, I don't know how she does that. And then she's singing perfectly with all the stuff that she does. Like, I think she does like a Pink Floyd cover and fucking perfect.
Yeah, Seth and I are like, we'll be standing there if she's playing a show, an acoustic show, and we're just looking at each other like, man, I wish I could play like that. And we're the front guys in our
like playing.
This
both
is
of you
just
guys are
into
playing
a
guitar.
Madison Appreciation Podcast.
Yeah, right. Shout out. Oh, weren't we supposed to shout out Kim from Right Live too?
Oh yeah, Kim. Wait,
take your shot, Kim.
We don't have any shots. Every time we say Kim, there's a shot.
But,
every podcast now.
This should just be a big local love fest right now, just of like everyone that we appreciate. Just because, not just in my band, but I appreciate you guys for starting this up. That's pretty awesome. I think we needed that around here.
No one around here had anything for like musicians or, I mean,
there was that one thing we did that one time, that Win Life TV.
Oh yeah, well that wasn't really like for like us group of music. It was like for like acoustic people. It was a good thing, but I feel like it was a little bit too professional. Like,
but like other than going to a local show, like actually experiencing it, or seeing postings on Facebook, and hopefully it's you like the page and follow the page, and then Facebook's algorithms don't like take you away from it. But we have like 101.5 Bob Rocks as our sole proponent of like getting our stuff out on the airwaves. So I think this is a good thing to start up too, and so hopefully it takes off.
I mean, there's also like a bunch of internet radios, I would think.
Yeah,
but they're not really seen as much.
Especially when Spotify and Apple Music or YouTube Music, whatever else exists, it's like you really got to fall into a rabbit hole for local stuff. I feel like.
Yeah, this is eventually going to be on Spotify. It's got probably this one might be the first one that airs on the right day for Spotify and Apple. Apple Podcasts or something like that. I can't remember what it's called.
I feel like more people listen to Apple Podcasts than they do on Spotify. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'm old school, man. Like, I just YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
why, I'd like watching
it on YouTube.
I'd rather like to watch a podcast than sit there and listen to it.
But no, like, the original idea for this is to, like, give musicians, business owners, politicians, like on a local level or even a national level if we ever get large enough for that.
The real goal is to get Danny DeVito here.
We should definitely push for that.
Yeah.
DeVito or die.
I would probably
DeVito for DTV.
I would probably need to come back as a special guest host on that show. I'm just saying. And he has to. Does he have to do it like in his underwear, like greased up? Or something?
Yeah. He has to come in. He has to come in as Man Cheetah.
Or no, the garbage man.
Yeah.
He's like, I just eat
garbage.
trash.
Like garbage boy.
Why does that always come up?
Throw me in the trash when I'm dead.
Shit.
Or the Penguin. I mean, it's Danny DeVito. He's amazing. So.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I think definitely having Mr. Brandon Wright, shout out, what's up, on here first was good because I feel like he's the biggest champion of our local scene.
Yeah, I feel like people are scared to ask him questions though.
Oh yeah, like no one asked him questions.
It's first show.
But I mean, it is our first show.
And he's coming back. He's gonna come back with controversial.
Oh yeah.
Stuff, so.
I'm thinking hopefully in December we might have him come back. And I'm gonna bring up all the conspiracy political stuff that I can to throw at him. Everything.
And I'm just gonna sit here in silence.
I'm gonna ask him questions about music in this area that he's not gonna want to answer. And be like, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, Brandon, remember that. Prepare yourself. But no, I like that we started this up because it gives everybody a chance to promote their brand, have a voice, talk about anything they want. And I feel like, all right, if you have something against someone else, it doesn't bother me if you want to talk about it.
I wouldn't even be opposed to like sitting both of you fucking down and hashing it out.
Judgment-free zone.
I definitely want to see,
because that'd be fun.
I want to see people arguing on here.
I want to see some bands
Chris.
after we get a couple of the local knowns out of the way. I definitely want to see bands that have not had a chance just yet to get out there once we've established something. Like a couple of the bands from tonight are a little newer that are playing at the Blue Fox, Cursor, and then Half Heard. They're both great bands that people need to hear. So
yeah, Throne Room. I don't know if you've seen or heard of them.
Yeah,
I want to get them on here
I think that they have a show coming up at Club Aura, which is another new venue in the area.
Yeah,
so.
we played it when it was called City Central.
Oh, okay, so that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's huge. It's a huge place. I feel like a lot of these places that we have out here, we really I hope to eventually take advantage of and be able to bring nationals in, and play these venues and draw people to us because why should we always have to feel like we need to travel to Baltimore or DC for something really big?
I wish Club Aura would be able to book because they have the potential to book giant nationals.
They have Wale coming, which granted Wale was big 3-4 years back.
I'm not sure. We got Dale here.
Dale. Yeah, that's right. You guys said you're not into rap as much, man.
No, I started getting a little bit into because I do listen to Post Malone stuff every once in a while, and I think that's only because he's one of the largest musicians in the world now.
He can really branch between genres a little bit.
Yeah, he
it seems.
He came up in the last podcast, and I just like the fact that he likes metal. He likes rock music. I think I heard Jose Mangan on Sirius XM say he actually has a Pantera tattoo. So
he looked like I think I've seen pictures of him from 10 or 15 years ago where he was really into alternative. And
he was in a garage band before he did the rap and R&B hip hop stuff.
Yeah, I used to be huge into hip hop when I was much younger. But I just started to trend. I went the opposite way. Instead of him going from rock to hip hop, I went from hip hop because I loved basketball and basketball's just kind of
it's hip hop and basketball.
It's just kind of a thing. But I think it was I liked rock music growing up. I have a lot of video games to thank for that.
Oh, same.
Really good soundtracks on a lot of
good We talked about that last week, too.
Video games, man.
I mean, I think we all...
wrestling video games always have great soundtracks.
We always go back to Tony Hawk Pro Skater,
That's what I was going to say.
Goldfinger and all those bands.
No, last night at the Shred
O'Connell's.
thing. Yeah,
Night of the Living Shred.
Hunter mentioned... SmackDown versus Raw 2007 or something dude,
2006.
Those were some of the best in the wrestling genre, some of the best wrestling games that they had ever came out with.
Which is sad because you see
now they
20 just came out and it's just glitch. Okay, so side note, I wasn't huge in wrestling, I guess, which was a terrible thing to say, but during the Attitude Era because I watched wrestling up until WCW fell apart. My granddad had passed away shortly thereafter, or before, one or the other, and that was the proponent for me to watch wrestling in the first place. So I stopped watching it because in school I was like, it's so dumb. It's like Jinko jeans, this, and baggy.
Yeah, when I got to high school,
and juggalo crap, and
stopped watching it a little bit because I was like, no one else watches.
Yeah, exactly. But I got back into it randomly, I guess, close to the end of college or with my job because a lot of other people enjoyed it, and now I watch it. At least Raw, I watch pretty consistently, and some of the.
I can say I'm on another sabbatical where I'm not watching it right now because I just feel like the product has been complete garbage.
Give AEW a chance,
Yeah, well, the only problem with AEW is I can't record it because I got Flash and Arrow stuff going on right now.
Well, they have there's AEW Dark or something where you can watch the dark matches, and then there's AEW Dynamite.
YouTube.
That's on YouTube, right?
I think
Dark?
so.
Yeah, the Dark's on YouTube.
So if AEW ever catches this, they should just be excited that we were just pitching their brand.
Chris
Jericho.
Well, I watched the first episode and
the bubbly.
I watched the first episode, and the only problem I had was the ending. Where it's okay, Chris Jericho is trying to start a new fucking NWO, it seems like.
Yeah.
Already starting a faction, night one.
Well, and then they brought in the Jake Hager, Jack Swagger, We the People.
See, Dale.
Yeah. he came in, and now, granted, I don't think he was a superstar. WWE calls all their people superstars. And
I mean, he was a heavyweight champion at one point.
He was good, but he's not Rollins, Roman Reigns level. But he came in, and that's the thing about AEW that I don't think is going to necessarily help it until someone big, besides Jericho, shows up, is another A-list star.
Yeah, but they also don't want to turn into TNA where they push every...
Randy Orton.
I know, I think he's coming.
Although I will say,
next year,
first night that I watched the Pac and, what's his name? Hangman Page match was fucking phenomenal.
But they just have to have names that draw to start.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, for going to a show, it's probably going to be a name that draws me there, and then there might be an opener that really gets me into.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy is the name we need, dude.
Yeah, Pockets. Yes. Yeah, I'm all for it. But
Dale's lost right now.
Oh man, you need to see this guy wrestle.
What's his name?
He destroyed Tommy Dreamer in a battle royal.
Orange Cassidy. All he does is put his hands in his pockets and.
Oh, I have seen him.
Yeah.
He had like sunglasses on and just
Jean
like
jacket, like.
and like.
Chilling.
I seen a video where he's just in the middle of the ring and then just turns around, runs off the ropes, jumps out of
and
the
knocks
ring.
down like 10 dudes.
Yeah, and then gets back up with his hands still in his pockets, rolls in the ring, and just stands there. Like, okay,
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty great. It's a good gimmick. I'll put it
All
that
right,
way.
so
My whole thing with that is, like, I want to know where he got his sunglasses because they stayed on his face the whole time.
Oh, yeah. It's like a
glues
sticky
him,
aviator.
super glue.
They're stuck to him permanently.
They actually come out of his face, like
They
it's
are
part of
actually a
him.
part of, yeah.
Yeah,
That would be funny.
he's a robot.
Now, so AEW, I think I've only watched like one. I can't remember, like one other episode so far.
It's still new. So I mean, you have
It's
to
only
give
been out for like what, 3 weeks.
Yeah, something like that. You gotta give the product time.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, just to put it out there, we have some indie shows locally, and my buddy Mike helps do. He's the ring announcer for a lot of them, and I went to one recently up at Breakaway, which that was a great place to have a wrestling event.
Oh yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, although still, like, as tall as it is, still not quite tall enough. The wrestlers were able to like grab onto like the bars at the top.
That's still
Oh
cool.
really?
But,
Holy
yeah,
crap!
but they had TJP there, James Ellsworth, who pretty much is like running the show.
Yeah. No chin music, dude.
Now, the thing is that like people, laugh, but Ellsworth like has Adrenaline Wrestling that he runs, and I think it's Adrenaline Wrestling. But anyways, I mean, he does really good in the promoting scene and does really good on the indie scene himself, and he's a really nice guy. I met him.
Wish I could do wrestling.
Yeah, I can't do a
was-
flip, so I
I
don't.
can
think
do
I
a
would-
flip.
I can do a flip.
I just want to have a ladder match against Aaron.
You should.
Let's do it.
Big DTV logo or Demise logo in the center of the ring. Like,
Yeah.
we could probably make this happen.
On
Like,
WWE 2K20.
We're just gonna bring the podcast to wrestling events now. Just like, hey, we'll be the announce table.
well, I had said, I was like, man, what you should do in between, like, because they had like a halftime, which I've never seen before at like a wrestling event.
Yeah.
But I was like, you should have live bands like up on the stage to play. That would be kind of cool. Like either
Yeah.
before or in the middle or after the show.
Yeah, I
hype
went
people
to
up.
I think it was kind of like almost a TNA like house show type of thing, and they had like a country band play before the wrestling event.
But like NXT
They had
had
Little
Code
Big,
Orange.
yeah, they had Little Big Town play before.
That's the thing I don't get. Like I don't feel like that's gonna hype me up for
No,
for wrestling.
no, I wasn't there. I got to walk around and meet wrestlers though. I got to meet like Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, Buff Bagwell, Scott Steiner, Rick Steiner.
Right.
Got babysitted by Jay Lethal that night. My mom and sister, I think, went to the car, and then my dad had to use the bathroom. So me and my little sister were standing there, and he's like, "Hey, can you watch my kids real quick?"
Hmm.
My dad didn't know who he was at the time.
Oh my god.
So I can go use the bathroom. And he's like, "Yeah, sure." I was like,
Yeah, they put
"Jay
their
Lethal."
pants on, one leg at a time. Mostly, some people.
I mean, I was
don't,
like
but,
10 or 12 or
Yeah,
something.
so-
But
just doing the right thing.
I'm just
Yeah.
glad like WWE and like most all wrestling brands, I guess, really stick with like rock music when it comes to like promoting their stuff.
Mostly, but unfortunately, some of it's butt rock.
WWE
Yeah.
has now been like, I don't know, like WrestleMania has been like Flow Rida, and
They have. Well, that's the thing. Like
but NXT,
NFL gets it right, NBA gets it right. MLB, I don't even remember what they do. They play the national anthem, and that's all I remember. And then you have NASCAR, who kind of does their country thing still. They do a little bit of rock, but they still pander to the old.
hey, the
but they
NASCAR
went
games
younger.
used to have some good soundtracks. They'd
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
Breaking
they did.
Benjamin and
They
Airborne.
used to have a lot of good stuff, actually. They still kind of do. I still play them. So, but wrestling, yeah, it has gotten into a little bit of hip hop, which makes sense. They
Yeah,
have some
it's
wrestlers
going with the times.
that have
Yeah,
like
like-
Street Profits.
Like on their games, I've noticed that they don't have as much rock
Oh, yeah,
anymore.
there's,
Like
like-
any video games now, like they almost
Yeah, like Madden,
they don't have really any
complete
rock.
change.
But
Madden
yeah.
used to be like, oh, here's Blink-182, Seether, AFI, and now we get people I don't know.
I'm just
Flow
thankful.
Rider.
I'm thankful for a lot of video game soundtracks growing up, though,
Yeah.
to bring me to where I am pretty much at this point. I think.
Same.
So, you know.
You know who I can thank for finding my favorite band? Taco Bell.
Really?
Did they play it in like the lobby or something?
No. Okay, so Beartooth was on Red Bull Records,
Uh-huh.
or still is on Red Bull Records, and Taco Bell was doing like a promotion with Red Bull Records. And I was reading the artist list or whatever. I got like this box meal. I was like, Beartooth, that sounds familiar. Listened to him and I was like, oh hey, it's pretty good. And like put it down for a little while. And then NXT used Hated for one of their takeovers, and they were promoting it all week. I was like, oh, Beartooth, that sounds familiar.
I have
And
that
then I was like,
association
just
with
like-
you now. That's how when I think
Fucking-
Beartooth, I'm like Aaron. You know, like for me, for me, it's definitely Gojira. Like if it's
Oh,
anything
yeah,
other
yeah.
than Gojira,
If I hear
then-
Gojira, I'm like Chris Jenkins.
What band do you associate with me?
Seether.
yeah, I feel like Seether for some
I
reason.
don't know why, like, I mean, I get why for you guys. Like, I don't know why, like, Seether for me is like, because
It's funny.
there's so many bands that have came out since Seether that I can't connect with.
What band do you want to be associated with in terms of like when people think of you or think of a reason why they think of said band to think of you?
Wow, that's a really big question right there.
Oh wow, who's in charge of this podcast right now?
I don't know.
God damn, Chris, that was a deep question right there.
Nirvana, because I'm suicidal. No.
God. Morbid, spooky.
Spooky.
If I could, no, dude, like,
Well, what's your favorite band like of all time, flat out? And there's no song that you hate. Like,
it would actually probably have to be Seether then.
boom, we've done it.
So, like, I mean, like, I love lots of music, but, like, I don't know why. Seether is always my band I always come back to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hey,
it's
they
cool
were my
because
favorite for the longest time.
I mean, if you notice, like, from, I don't know how much Seether you've ever listened to, but, like, from their first album to their next album, they've always progressed in different ways and sound different, and it's cool. Like, sometimes they might have, like, a little bit of a poppy sound in some of their songs, or then the country song that they came out with that was named Country Song. Like, just that riff, though, made them different than everything else.
I've seen them live. I want to say at least once, twice. I think I saw them at Rock on the Range, and then I saw them. Didn't they tour recently through like the Soundstage? No. Ram's Head.
I think it was last year, maybe?
Yeah, they played with
Maybe.
like. Was it like with Alter Bridge or Tremonti or somebody?
Oh, that was a while back.
Yeah, that was a while ago because I think
Well,
we went to there.
I went too.
You were.
It was in the Richmond. It was Richmond, the National.
No, I definitely didn't go that
No?
one. No, there was one at Ram's Head, and Seether played.
Yeah, there
and I was upstairs because I was down in the front for one of the bands I wanted to be there for, and then when Seether went on, I went to the merch booth and then went upstairs because I couldn't get back to my spot.
I want to say the last time Seether played Baltimore was the
Soundstage.
Soundstage, and they played with
Letters from the Fire.
yeah, and then
Big
when
Story.
the last time they played Ram's Head, I want to say they played.
It
with
must have been Tremonti and Big Story or
Blackstone
something.
Cherry.
Oh well, this was only within like the last 2 years. I promise.
No,
you
I
that,
think
so.
there was one other time, but we didn't get to go.
Yeah, maybe.
That probably was the one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen Seether a lot.
How many times?
At least like 17.
Gojira 18. Boom. Boom. Favorite band.
I don't think I've
How it
seen
works.
any band 10 times or more other than locals.
It's so funny when you see a band a whole bunch and you don't mean to. Like
Yeah.
I've seen Killswitch like
I
6
think
times.
the band I've seen the most is probably Saliva, just by coincidence, because they're always around.
That's how it was with Killswitch. I mean, like I like Killswitch Engage a lot. They're really good, but they would always be on a show with another band I wanted to go see.
Yeah.
It was really ironic.
And Seether didn't tour at all this year and didn't tour last year. So and I'm surprised that they didn't tour this year because this year was like their 20th anniversary as being a band. Most bands will tour their 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, from what I keep hearing, that they're coming out with a brand new album next year and gonna go on a big tour. So I'm excited about that.
Same
I
for
guess.
Gojira. So I feel your.
How weird would that be if Gojira and Seether just did a tour together?
Hey, I got it.
Then me,
Be
you, and
strange
Chris
as
would be
shit.
going to every show.
Like,
We'd
hey,
just be following the tour.
let's just go be roadies.
I mean, when Gojira toured through a couple times, I have went like Philly, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I went as far as North Carolina. I went to New York before for them.
Holy shit.
I mean, they mean a
Well,
lot to my life. So
That's kind of like how we went to I mean, I guess we can't really say that we went to Syracuse, New York, just for Seether, because we went, and it was called K-Rockathon. It had like a Day to Remember, and
Still pissed I didn't see a Day to Remember that day.
I just don't understand why A Day to Remember was above Seether, because at the time, A Day to Remember was just kind of right in the same thing.
Homesick was already out to do, or?
I don't know, because when I seen...
no, because it was right in the middle, right before they like broke off from their record label. It was before the
because
City of Akala album.
headlined over top of them at that Richmond thing I went to.
Yeah.
But no, like we went up to K-Rockathon and it had Hailstorm on it. I can't remember. Just a bunch of just
Hailstorm, Framing Hanley,
Blackstone Cherry was on.
Blackstone Cherry, Red.
Fozzy.
I think, yeah, Fozzy.
Fozzy.
I got to see Chris Jericho.
We were actually like right in front of the stage for that one. Like he was right there.
Fozzy played Blue Fox, and I was there, and I did like a photobomb picture because I didn't pay for like VIP meet and greet.
Yeah.
He's a little bit like, no offense, but pretentious. So I wasn't going to get to meet him in a just like, oh hey, it's Chris Jericho kind of moment.
Doesn't Chris Jericho have his own podcast?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Chris Jericho, I just want to say
Chris
this.
Jericho podcast.
I heard that when you played at our local venue that you were kind of a little bitch. So yeah, share that.
I wanted to make the list. I really did. I think the whole venue
probably
ended up
just made
making
the
the
list.
list. We probably just made the list.
DTV
But-
podcast.
No, I still like Chris Jericho. Don't get me wrong. I just would have hoped that he would have walked outside of his bus once and near the venue once instead of being holed up. You know,
I don't know.
I just heard he was being a drama queen,
maybe
like about certain things.
they probably didn't have the bubbly or something. You know, like
Well, I mean,
I feel like for him though, it's like
Blue Fox is a small
maybe
place
he
for
doesn't
Yeah.
want Fozzy to really ride off of his wrestling career's coattails.
oh, probably.
So that's why he doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Which is a
everyone
very-
knows. Pretty much everyone going to a Fozzy show is going there for Chris
And
Jericho.
that's what I've said recently. Like not in a.
But now I can say Fozzy with like Judas and stuff.
Yeah.
People
there-
probably don't even know it's Chris Jericho's band.
Yeah, there are songs that have stuck out a little bit. So another wrestler who does, we can relate the two topics already.
Yes, Mark Andrews.
Another wrestler that does like he
He's in a
sings
pop-punk
and goes out and does his thing is Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, and I've actually talked to like Eric and Brandon both. I'm like, you should bring Jeff Hardy. Now he's going through like DUI crap right now,
Yeah.
but I mean, think of the crowd. I mean, you've got half of it probably coming.
I'd go just for Jeff Hardy.
Exactly, and the other half
Yes.
is going to be people who might going to see the openers, who would be local bands that we enjoy. So really, you're getting two different crowds together at one time.
Yeah,
which
just
would
get
pack a
Honky
venue.
Tonk Man to open, you know.
Yeah, you get the honky tonk man. Yeah.
I've never actually listened to Jeff Hardy's band. Does he do the vocals?
Yeah, he does
Okay.
vocal. From what I've seen, he does vocals, and he has another fellow just playing acoustic guitar and stuff. And it's
All right.
decent.
How
So-
cool would that be to have
Since
Jeff
we got
Hardy's
on-
band?
Okay, wait.
We can't play this on air, can we?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought- I
How,
thought you were-
But-
how cool would this be to have Jeff Hardy's band and Fozzy do a tour together? That would be
Doubtful.
it would be cool as shit.
And then a ladder
Especially
match to end the
considering-
night.
Yes, I'm for it. But no, I mean, I've seen that they've played like in Tennessee and stuff, and it's usually on times where he's right now on like a hiatus, I guess, because he had an injury or whatever. So technically speaking, he could go out and do it. And I'm like, man, it would just draw. It'd be a smart pull, but
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Aaron?
Oh, I was gonna say what you had me look up earlier to see if we can stump them, since we were talking about wrestling and
You know
music.
what?
But I don't think we can do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
I was gonna play odd wrestler theme songs and see if you could guess them.
I don't think it would cut us off because I don't
We
think
can
a lot
try.
of those things aren't like major
know-
big bands that you know what I mean.
odd wrestler theme songs. Well, man, if they're not anytime recent or old, I don't know.
This is like
Ruthless Aggression area.
Ruthless Aggression.
Just all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get stumped. The best person to do this would be Hunter. Can I phone a friend? Like,
Well, let's see if you can get the first one. This is Dale's favorite. If it doesn't play an ad. Turn this down.
what is this, the Lion King theme song?
Yeah. This guy has wrestled Undertaker.
I was about to be like Bruno San Martino. Like,
No.
I mean,
Oh, God.
what's his name? I don't know his name.
I just played it again.
No, Bruno's the older one. I don't know.
You don't know it?
I don't know. Who's it?
Muhammad Hassan. Do you remember him now?
No.
I went hard ones because I thought you would be.
I'm core now, but
Yeah.
not then. I don't know.
There was
I
one.
don't know if he's gonna get the rest of these.
Probably not, but you can try like one or two more.
Do them.
I'll do the one that you said. I never looked
Let's
up.
see if me and him can both get, because I can't remember half of them.
All right.
With our powers combined. Yeah, I know that one. That's one. Hold on.
I feel like Cena had a different theme song at one point.
We're up closer to the mic.
I don't want to because if we talk over it, they can't block us.
It's right there. That's good.
Oh man, what was this,
Man.
like 2004?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't know. But I can guess the year, but I can't guess the wrestler.
Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP.
Was he the dude like would have the
Yeah.
cane and the hat?
Yeah, you're definitely not going to get the rest of them because
No,
the rest
that's-
of them are way harder.
He's the guy that kind of looked like a football player.
Oh yeah, see, I have
He
no
came
idea.
out of like this
Yeah.
big tent thing.
There was just
popped
a
out of
period,
it.
like I said, there was a
Yeah.
period that was just kind of like it's not cool to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Yeah, grow up. And then now, 27 years old, watching DBZ again
Yeah.
and Dragon Ball
Exactly.
Super and like all the good stuff. So
It's
I
because
know. I've been trying to get like Walmart had the DBZ seasons for like $20 each season, and I was broke every time I went to Walmart and couldn't buy them. And now they're all sold out, and I'm mad.
So, Aaron, I understand that you have a bunch of questions on your phone
I do.
for Mr. Chris Jenkins. So
This
we're gonna
is
do
a speed round.
We're gonna do
Speed round!
speed round of questions for you.
oh man,
All right.
Answer as fast as you can.
What kind of underwear do you buy?
boxers. Gotta let the thing hang.
Yeah. Why Sluagh? How do you pronounce it?
It's Celtic. And you say Sluagh, Sluagh.
Sluagh.
And it means like the people or the spirits from like limbo that come in through like your leftward facing window and take
Yeah.
you. But so you
So
don't go to
lost.
heaven or hell. So yeah, you're a lost soul basically. So
The show Lost.
not. No.
Do you like Chris P. Bacon?
Chris P. Bacon is a pretty swell guy.
He
out
just
there.
hates when flyers don't have addresses.
He does. He does.
Why does your drummer hate you?
Hunter actually loves me. He probably hates me because he's a nocturnal being, and he'll be up till the butt crack of dawn, and then we won't answer until like sometime in the next day, and then he'll answer later in the day when it's like, kind of winding down.
Yeah.
It's this repetitious cycle.
Cycle.
It's a vicious circle. That's what it is.
All right. Let me. I know there's those two serious ones.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. it's
You don't
not
have to
really
answer
speed.
these ones really fast.
With Madison and what she's been through, how has that brought you guys closer as a band?
I think not even on a band sense, it's
Or friends,
like a
yeah.
family. Yeah, I remember when she was like having her head shaved to go get surgery. She's had a lot going on, and I mean, if you guys know Seth and his family, which are all great people, I'm sure you're kind of already aware. But she's had a couple brain surgeries, and she's a very strong girl. So, she's and I say girl, but she's of age now. So she's a woman, so she's a very strong woman, and she's just a great person to be around. So if you have not met Madison, you need to. So
All right. What is it like playing in a band that has two people,
That are relatives.
relatives?
we don't even use it necessarily as like a gimmick per se. We it just if we're out there doing our intros and stuff, and it comes about, then it does, and then that gives like a talking point for people, I think. But
Yeah.
we look at it as we have four bandmates. At least I do. Of course, I'm not the party that's related, but it feels like we're one big family. So we're not necessarily related by blood, but by
Yeah.
music. So
It's okay. Me and Dale, we've gotten where people
Yeah.
thought we were brothers.
yeah, I mean, I have always said that sometimes the connections you have with your friends are thicker than those with your family. So
Yeah. Who started coleslaw?
on a technical level, like this idea of a band started with my friend Zach Roach and I. He heard a small little demo that I sent him just on a whim. We were just talking music, and I sent it to him, and he's like, "Dude, you should start a band." So he and I started a project a little bit, and just in his garage, and then I met Seth, like I was telling you guys, and I just brought in like 6 people because I knew there was going to be people that wouldn't stick. So I just had to figure out who was going to stick,
Yeah.
and then Seth and I were the main ones that stuck. Zach had other things come up in his life, and then we had Mark from my job at the time come about, and then Madison, and just so I guess the idea was kind of conceptualized by me initially, but Seth, joined in and then has helped really take us to new heights too. So,
What is the lowest tuning you play in?
currently drop C. We want to go. I would want to go lower. I want to go to like A. We have the means to do so, but we just haven't. We love some sludge, so slow, heavy stuff.
What color is a mirror?
It's not color. Well, okay. Were we talking about the glass itself? Like, are we talking about? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think it is a
You
color.
think
reflective.
Kenny Williams for this one, I think?
Reflective.
Kenny Williams asked that. No, I really like that question because it like throws everything off. It's like, what color is a mirror?
All right. The Office or Trailer Park Boys?
Both are great. I've only seen chunks of each, but I think I will go with The Office. I work in an office. Some of the things kind of make sense. So.
All right.
Want to give me a job at your office? Because I'm jobless.
Oh, man.
This became an interview.
Get wrecked.
All right. Fuck, marry, kill. Chewbacca, Jabba, or Jar Jar?
Oh, man. Let's kill Jar Jar. But if you asked me that when I was 7, I'd be like, oh, you said a bad word. But I love Jar Jar. Now I'm like, no Jar Jar. So kill Jar Jar. So what I got left? Marry Chewbacca.
And fuck Jabba.
Well, that one went well.
All right. Here comes
Get lost.
here comes a controversial one for him.
Ooh.
It's not really that controversial.
Ooh.
Kill a kitten or never listen to Gojira again.
How would I kill the kitten?
You have to do it with your bare hands.
I love cats, so that's really hard, and it's not a very environmentally friendly thing because they are environmentally friendly. They would say, no, you can't listen to us anymore, and I would probably die internally from that anyway. So, okay, is Sarah McLachlan, is she playing music while this is happening?
Arms of an angel.
Oh man, that'd be tough.
Hard question,
I'm just gonna
dude.
say no comment for my love of Gojira and cats both because I can't answer that.
But that's a hard question.
It is a very hard question.
Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh! And I only say this because I played it longer. I have went back to Pokemon in games, and I played Go for a little bit, so Pokemon still has longevity factor, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Was so fun for like the 3 years that I played actively. So, and I have friends that still go to tournaments and play and make money off of it.
I like Digimon.
Okay, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! As a card game better.
Yes,
But
yeah,
I like
okay.
Pokemon.
There's the answer I'm looking for. But Pokemon, there's too many now. There's way too many. If we went up to like the Unknown series and stopped right there, cool. After that, I'm like, there's a literal piece of trash Pokemon. There's
It's
an
me.
ice cream cone
I'm a
Pokemon. There's so much stuff that doesn't. I'm just like, whoa.
Hot
it's
water
too much.
heater Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, of course there was Muck, who was like a big purple cum stain, but
Yeah. Or
but
Jinx, who is, I don't know.
like Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Before
Mr.
Nicki
Mime,
Minaj.
who's like a creepy,
pedo, weird.
rapey
Yeah.
vibe mime.
But still, these were ones that we were indoctrinated with as children and didn't mean those things to us then, and it made sense because we could keep in line 150 and then some unknowns. But then after that, I'm just like, why are we at 900?
Can you do the Poke Rap?
No.
Oh,
No.
What?
The Poke Rap.
I don't know what that is.
Oh man, no. I mean, I can't. I remember that, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm more of a
don't
fan of
remember
who's that Pokemon,
Yeah.
and then the guy's like, it's Pikachu, and then it's Clefairy, and he's like, fuck.
All right. Well, that's all the.
That's all the speed round
Well, speed round
questions.
was pretty speedy.
So, Chris, I see that you brought some flyers with you.
I did, and it's really funny that you say that because you made a lot of these, so you should know a lot of these. But a lot of bands that we've played with over the years, so wanted to get some shout-outs in and thoughts on if you guys have played with them, if you enjoy their music, what have you. But
Oh, you're gonna put us on the spot.
yeah,
We
should
gotta
shoot
make the enemies.
hard questions.
I'm good at making enemies.
No,
Obviously.
it's a controversial topic. So not gonna go over all of them, just ones you may or may not know. Black River Bloodbath just played last night at Blue Fox, from what I remember. I didn't get to make it, but those are good friends of ours.
They
in the
played with
scene.
1818.
Yeah, they
Wanted to go there, but
They helped us get on our first show. Fear, which features was members of now is Deathless. So you got guys from them in there, and
I know that.
yeah, Jacob and Connor. So they were in Fear. The next show, I think this show was memorable because we played 611. 611 is a great venue in terms of underground music. The band we played with, Ikilia.
Dude, that's a really good band name.
Ikilia, yeah, they were on like Metal Injection or Metal Sucks like the same week we played with them, and I'm like, what? And we're right next to them on the floor.
Ikilia.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm gonna go through all these, but Lovey, I miss those guys. In Your Memory was cool too, but we definitely miss Lovey. Those guys really identified with us in terms of how they played. Played with Crowbot on like our 5th gig. Virgin Marys and Ages, they were all like touring at the time, so that was pretty neat. And that was Blue Fox. It was our 2nd time playing Blue Fox. It was 5th show total.
Nice.
Good old Valley Cat.
Yeah, good old Valley Cat. It was a very tiny place.
Whatever happened to Peruvial?
Well, Mike is now in Finding Dimes.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to them as a band. The New Rain was on that gig. That was our first time playing with them.
Yeah, we just saw Andrew last night.
Super cool. Yeah, he's doing really good right now, so I'm proud of him. There's a lot of bands on this one. One Slack, good friends of ours. 1818, good friends of ours. Silence of Mind.
Yeah, that was before the Rock School took that over, wasn't it? 'Cause that's Arkham.
Yeah, it was Arkham. And before that, what was it, Dirty Dogs?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's been some changeover. Silver Tongue, we played with them like around Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, Drinksgiving is supposed to be like the biggest drinking holiday.
I never knew that.
Well, I didn't either until that, and I didn't expect it that way, and I don't necessarily know if I've still viewed it that way, but that was a cool place. G-Boons, which is now, what was it, Jockeys now?
Yeah, I don't know what they got going on there now.
Yeah, they haven't
like to
opened
play
up the
there.
venue part yet.
This was a huge show for us. This was our first CD coming out, December 23rd of 16. That was just an overall really fun night, and I can't wait to do that again. Army the Architect, those were good guys. I think they've recently just kind of disbanded or something, so it's kind of unfortunate. First super big show we played was Devil Driver and Death Angel and Head PE, Motor Grader. And the cool thing about this one was we played our first super big show like 2.5 hours away with huge bands, and we weren't even a year into our existence in terms of playing shows.
Dude,
yet.
you have to go out of this area in order to get big stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I love this scene, but there's nothing out here.
I mean, we try as a scene really hard, I think, to get what we can, and we have to kind of appease the masses. I would love to see bands like Periphery or just bands that just we know and enjoy, but not maybe necessarily the overall. Because what we'll do is bring more people into our scene reverse way,
Yeah.
Kind of like how they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just need a big venue, which Club Aurora.
No. Well, I was also hoping, Shenandoah just built that basketball court down here.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping they'd, turn into a venue during off season.
I mean, I think Shiley's got some improvements they're looking to make to bring in more next year. I think.
Yeah, Shiley's pretty much our biggest venue.
I'd love to see Shiley's take over a giant indoor venue.
Yes, I would love that. I would absolutely love that, because then it would give a lot more opportunity, I think, overall. It would bring a lot more people in, overall. Blue Fox does it for us right now. If they had a little bit more space, I think we could go to the next level, but...
Yeah.
What I think, like Club Aurora, because it's a big venue now, right? I think really just what the guy that's booking it really needs is the contacts for these big bands. That, hey, we're a new venue, big venue. We can hold this, that, and the other, and just say, we're gonna start booking it like Ram's Head, like Fillmore.
He needs somebody that he can release the reins on. Like, say, you know what, you've got big ambitions and goals, and who in the scene would do, something big for us. And he's got to be somebody that is willing to spend money. You know what I mean? And that's hard as a business.
You want to know what? Yeah, you don't want to go in the negative, but the one thing that I think would help, and I hate this company so much, and people are going to disagree. If a company like Live Nation took over a venue that big in our area, it would work so amazingly.
Fingers crossed, I would hope it wouldn't sell us out, though. You know what I mean? And then have other venues.
Well, I feel like
where local bands wouldn't be able to play.
Yeah, I was going to say, if that happened, I feel like local bands wouldn't be on the bill because it's Live Nation.
Well, not only that, but then you would have these other venues feel the need to have to compete, and it would lessen the opportunities for the local bands in it. So it could almost be negative if that happened. So you just have to be like a freelancing kind of guy that is willing to spend money to make money, you know? So I feel like I've heard that Breakaways is willing to do stuff like that, but the thing is, I think, you know, I've never been privy on their parking situation, number one.
Yeah, it's a little small.
And for that wrestling event, I had to park almost down by Sheets, and you know where Sheets is to Breakaway. So, you know, it's not like there's a big giant parking garage that people can just go jump into. Winchester has parking garages, but they don't have venues nearby.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, the rough part. But, yeah, we just played like a ton. I think we played 50-some shows. We played Black Map. They were on tour with Chevelle.
I just need to win the lottery.
So what has been your favorite show or favorite show memory that you played?
Favorite shows. This is a good one. Super Bob. And I'm hoping that Super Bob's not over, but it seems like they're over because they've had a lot of changeover.
Yeah.
But that was a good time. But pretty much most shows at Blue Fox have been a great time. Most shows we've played, period, have been a great time. And I think it's a big shout out to not only the venues, but the promoters themselves who help, like Brandon, like Eric, even Liz more recently, just making it a comfortable experience for everybody on the show. You know, no pressure in terms of things. Of course, you want to promote and do those things prior to the show. You want to draw people out. You want to have a good show. The sound guys that run these shows do amazing jobs. You know.
I know we're very lucky that we have a good amount of decent sound guys around.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most venues we play, you know, we have no complaints. But we're also not like pretentious people either. You know, like and I'm not saying anybody that has additional gear is, but you know, we don't have running in-ears. We don't run any things that are like mixing tracks that or backing tracks that need to go through front of house or anything special necessarily. Like when we go, if we run an intro, we run it off of our iPod through the house soundboard with someone who's maybe or may or may not be familiar with us. So, you know.
That's kind of what I've done once.
Yeah, and I mean, it's, while it's like, hopefully that goes well, we've never had any like serious issues with it. So, I think the biggest issues we've ever had with venues was a couple times where they lost power, like either just like on the stage, like something will happen, and that's not.
That happened to me for like our first 3 shows. My side of the stage lost power like
every time,
3 times in a row.
Different venues.
That's crazy.
Yeah, at G-Boons when we played G-Boons, it happened.
Oh wow!
First song, I had nothing.
So that happened at our last show, which I'm scrolling through. We're getting pretty close already. Where someone flipped a light switch that somehow controlled half of that side of the venue's lights or something.
Was that at
Doghouse?
Doghouse?
Yeah.
That happened. We lost complete power.
I want to talk about Doghouse in just a few minutes once we just get through like 4 of these, because there's like a lot of bands that I feel like people need to know.
That's our show.
Yeah, there we are. Demise, Sluagh, and Apollo's Prophecy. So we played together. That was a good show. It was a really fun time at Backseat, which I would like to go back.
Same.
You know. So
that was, I think, our last show at Backseat.
That was our first and only show at Backseat, which is unfortunate. It's a great place. So, Brandon's other band, Dreaming of Eden, that was a fun show. Blue Fox show. Silver
I hope
Tongue.
they do more stuff.
I hope so too. I like those guys. It was another show with us. 1818.
That's where I got my awesome, sick-looking photo from Steve Zellman.
Now, granted, you know, so on camera, see that sick flyer right there? You can thank Beast back here for that.
Mr. Beast.
ShopMrBeast.com.
Please give us money.
ShopMrBeast.com. I'm giving you a shout out. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast, fund us, please.
Fund us.
Help my podcast.
Fund me. Like.
I said us. It's all 3 of us.
Oh, thank you. I'm included. Cool.
I'm not worried about the money.
Yeah, well, you know, student loan debt, you know, whatever. Anyways,
use it for good.
You know, a drinking problem.
Inoculum, sick.
Dude, they're a good band.
Yeah.
I still got one of their kazoos.
Yeah, me too. I never take it though. I always feel like if I was playing it, they'd be like, "Hey, come up on stage and play with us," and I'd be like, "Oh no."
I don't even know how to play a kazoo.
Just breathe. Dying in Degrees. I feel like we've done something with them before that, but you know, maybe not. Crispy Bacon.
Crispy Bacon.
AKA Pablo Honey.
AKA
redacted name we cannot say on air.
Redacted name we can't say on air.
We've been a part of like good festivals for you know, various reasons. So we've had a really good run. Shadow Woods is cool. A lot of underground bands. It's outside of our area. we've had a lot of really good shows, and I'm really
There's another
fortunate.
show you did with Diane Degrees.
Yeah, right there, the Halloween show. I think that drew the most people at Whiskey Ridge when they were a venue that they ever had, period. And I'm not going to say it's because of us. I mean, Finding Diane's Dead Man, Dying Degrees, and we were on the bill. We were actually on the bill last minute, too. It was like 1 week to go. Blue Fox had a car run into it, and so our show got
I think you guys played there, and then the night after we played at Granny's.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But that was fun because
we were going to hit you up, and then you're like,
Yeah,
we're playing
you're
at
playing
Whiskey
at Whiskey
Ridge.
Yeah, that was a really fun show for me because you were asking which ones were most fun. That one was fun in a sense. I don't know if we played okay that night, but it was a Halloween show, so we all dressed up. And this was I think the first true time we dressed up as a band. Like Madison dressed up the year before that as like Wednesday Addams or something, and then this time I was like, I'd just seen Behemoth in recent months, and I was like, yo, let's be Behemoth. So, like, Seth and I and Madison all wore face paint. I think at the time Toby was in a band, and he wore, like, a mask or something, because I don't know if he had access to the stuff, but we all wore face paint, like corpse paint, and we looked pretty dope. So, I was pretty proud of at least our stage get-up. Oh, look, there's my birthday. That was fun.
Yeah,
so this
I was there.
So I have stories about a lot of these shows. It's crazy that I can remember a lot of the stuff that we've done show-wise, but this show was supposed to be Hunter's first show with us. We went from October to March, so we hadn't played in several months, and things had happened, and Toby had exited the band, and Hunter kind of came in, and then he had like an appendicitis. So Stefan from Future to Claim stepped up and did an awesome job.
Played 2 sets.
Yeah, played 2 sets. Forgot his drum pedals.
Yeah.
Backed the show up a little bit, but played. It was an awesome show. We had a good time. This one's in here because I got to play with Dying Degrees. That was really cool. To see camaraderie amongst 2 local bands like that was an interesting thing for people, I think.
I want to see more collaborations in the music
I
scene.
definitely want to see more collaborations.
I've always wanted, and you know what, now that I have this platform, I can say it, I've always wanted to write a song, because the one thing in our area that I feel like stands out the most is like the opioid crisis.
Unfortunately.
Like really big in our area. I always wanted to write a song about like the hatred on that or something like that, and write lyrics where different lead singers will come in and do stuff, or different guitar players will come in and do stuff. Sorry, I'm like tired of shit. So like different guitar players come in and do like guitar tracks, different lead singers will come in and do different segments of the song, and then you can have your different bass players come in and do like little bass runs, and even like you can do like where one drummer's playing, right, and it does like a fill over to the next drummer starts, and just have this big collaboration thing, and then have this song out for just a charity, like like the only way people can listen to this song is if they buy it on iTunes, this, that, or the other, but donate X amount of money that they want to, but it at least has to be like $1, like off iTunes or some shit, but they could donate more if they want, and then they can have this song that this local music scene made for this big opioid crisis that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think Finding Dimes did some kind of song last year for like 1015, like a Christmas song, and then they donated like charity, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, Atomic 26, super good. Ashes of Ever, super good. Yeah, there's just so many bands we've played with, dude. I wanted to use this as a shout out for a lot of these guys. Stellar Circuits, they're not even from here, from North Carolina. So
North Carolina's got some good bands.
Wanted to platform that for championing.
Yeah, we just saw Reason to Find from North Carolina.
Was that the breast cancer show?
Yeah,
See,
they
and
were amazing.
That's the thing. Local scene is all about supporting good causes, man.
All the time.
So,
we're coming down to the last like 2 or 3 minutes of the show. Anything you want to shout out really quick?
Shout out to my bandmates. Shout out to my Graham. Shout out to all my friends who've been especially supportive the last couple months. Any quick last minute questions you got for me?
What do you think of the podcast?
I want to do it again. I know Brandon wants to do it again.
Bring you guys both in.
Oh my God, we would have such a good time doing this together, I think.
I do have one question, since this is kind of our Halloween edition, really.
Yeah.
We haven't really covered any horror stuff, but
I was about to
what's
say
your
something.
favorite scary movie?
Oh man, probably something stupid.
Something
Is
stupid.
The Room... No, I'm just kidding.
The Room. I did not hit her.
It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mom. No, I think my favorite horror movie, oddly, would be like The Ring.
The Ring?
The Ring. Yeah, The Ring was really good. Yeah. The Grudge got a lot of flack, but The Grudge was pretty cool when I was a kid. I was like 11, 12 years old it came out, something like that. So, The Exorcist scarred me for life, I think.
Yeah.
The first time I saw that I was like 3 or 4 years old. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's probably hard, but I don't have like a favorite movie because it feels like it changes quite often.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, probably one of those.
Yeah, mine's The Shining.
Yeah, and then the sequel's coming out.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
So that'll be
At
good.
first, when it was announced, I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
And then I seen the trailers, I'm like, okay.
We could go on a whole other tangent about how I feel
yeah.
about remaster, remakes, whatever. Right now,
It's
the originality's
sequel
gone in society right now. So.
Or no,
Except for our local scene.
Even if the problem with movies is, even if there is an original idea, people don't pay to go see it because it's not Batman and fucking.
Well, I don't know. In recent years, I feel
Annihilation, great movie.
Yeah.
Original idea, bombed box office.
Yeah. It's what's unfortunate. And it's what the cash grab's at right now. It's just like The Lion King, Aladdin.
Yeah.
Like all these things are coming back from our childhood. Where we're like, please don't remake that. Meanwhile, today's kids do need something that they can look to too. But
it's not even a remake. It's just a
reimagining of.
No, it's the same movie, just
real life.
Well, and I can't really speak to them either because I haven't really seen them. But I know from the trailers, I'm like, I'll just watch the cartoon.
I watched the one I want to watch.
Yeah.
So now that we are winding down from this, Chris, I want to thank you for coming in and having fun with us on this
Thanks for having me.
podcast. We'll definitely try to have you on again.
For sure.
I mean, Brandon, I think we're going to try to get him back in December, but,
I talk a good bit, so, I mean, there's a lot of things.
Oh, we can cover a lot. So we'll come up with a lot of topics.
There's a lot. I mean, we didn't catch on, like, all the topics, I don't think.
Oh, no.
So, but
it was good, though.
Yeah, for sure. I hope, like, I was able to champion local music, number one.
Yes.
Champion individual people that have helped out. Be a talking point for you guys to, grow from it too in terms of your podcast and stuff. And Demise. Shout out to Demise.
Yeah, those
Thank
guys
you.
suck.
Dimsies.
The whole D logo, DTV. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for joining us for this podcast.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, hope you guys have
If you're watching on YouTube.
Happy Halloween, because this is airing on Halloween, as long as no setbacks happen.
And put in the comments what your favorite scary movie
Yeah,
is.
put in the comments what your favorite scary movie is.
So I can bash you.
And once again, I'm your co-host, Dale Sims.
I'm your co-host, Aaron Tenney.
And this is Chris Jenkins.
TTV. See ya.
Have a good one.